This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. This is a special day of recording. We're going to talk about 8 stories that we're following today, but I get the great pleasure of recording in person at the Becker's Healthcare Annual Meeting. I'm sitting with Jeremy Corr, the founder and CEO of Executive Podcast Solutions, and Chanel Bunger, the best producer in the business. So for me, it's a special opportunity to visit with our team from Executive Podcast Solutions in person, the best in the business in terms of podcast production, recording, and so forth. So here are the 8 stories that we're following today. First, China export orders plunge. China's been hit hard by the tariffs so far. Their economy showed its first big signs of damage from the trade war. The Wall Street Journal reported on that today. Second, Starbucks is down more than 7% today. Lots of investors are sort of betting on the talents of Brian Nicole to move Starbucks in the right direction. In the first quarter, visitors were down, order size was up, everything's become so expensive there, and overall same-store sales were down, and that's a bad sign. Their comparable same-store sales were down about 2%, as they say investors or coffee drinkers were going to cheaper alternatives like Dunkin' and McDonald's and others. Third, Snapchat's also way down today. Snapchat, I always worry when people in the household are using Snapchat too much, but in any event, down 13% or so. They met their earnings, but they said they couldn't give guidance for the next quarter. And whenever a company says that they're no longer going to give guidance, that scares people a great deal. Fourth, Hims & Hers jumped 23% yesterday. They signed a deal for distribution with Novo Nordisk. Novo Nordisk makes Wegovy, which competes with Mounjaro and Ozempic and these other things. But the gap that Novo Nordisk has compared to Eli Lilly is getting larger and larger. But Hims & Hers jumped on the news that they and some others will be distributing Novo Nordisk's, weight loss, diabetes, drugs, GLP-1s, and so forth. Fifth, the markets rose yesterday, but they're down significantly today. Some challenging news in the market today. The economy contracted for the first time in a few years in the first quarter this year. New jobs added were very low in this last month. Inflation was lower in April, but still hot for the quarter. So a number of things are driving the markets down today as people have concerns about where things are going. Sixth, mergers and acquisitions activity, which so many banks, investors, lawyers, consultants, accountants watch those closely, was really down in the first quarter. Throughout the rest of the world, it was up. In the U.S., it was down. People just feeling uncertain, and so being cautious about investing too hard in big deals. Finally, seventh, and we've got one more after 7. Amazon is down nearly 16% year to date. It's performing okay compared to some of the other Magnificent 7, but still that's down 15% year to date. Palantir Technologies remains hot. It's up 53% year to date after being relatively flat for a while. It's just been surging, and it's up 53% year to date. Finally, Hertz. Hertz dropped 13% yesterday. Has announced plans to again tap the debt market. It already has $6 billion in debt. It's going to tap the markets for another $500 million. The company also issued $500 million in high yield / junk bonds in December. So it's continuing to rely on debt heavily to make its cash flow and operations work and so forth. And it's always scary for companies. We say often, debt kills companies, countries, and families. Companies, countries, and families. That's what we say. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. And thank you again to Jeremy Corr and Chanel Bunger for being here in person, along with Grace Keller and the rest of their team. Thank you very much for joining us.